David slammed the door of his childhood bedroom, the echo reverberating through the quiet suburban house in upstate New York. At 25, he had finally mustered the courage to come out to his parents over dinner, only to be met with stony silence and his father's muttered words. "This family doesn't do that." As he paced the room, heart pounding, he spotted an old cardboard box tucked under his bed, labeled Grandpa's stuff in faded marker. Artifacts from the man who had died when David was just a kid, the patriarch everyone revered as a stoic war veteran and pillar of traditional values. He hadn't thought about Grandpa Elias in years, not since the funeral where family stories painted him as the epitome of American masculinity. A World War II hero who built a life in the factories of Detroit, married young, and raised 3 kids with an iron fist. But tonight, with rejection fresh in his mind, David needed something, anything, to anchor him. He dragged the box out, dust motes dancing in the lamplight, and rifled through yellowed letters, dog-eared photos, and a small, locked metal file case that felt heavier than it should. Curiosity gnawed at him. Why lock away mementos? Using a paperclip, he jimmied the latch open, revealing a stack of documents that would shatter everything he knew. The first item was a faded photograph of 2 young men in military uniforms, arms slung around each other's shoulders, grinning under the sun of 1940s Italy. On the back, in elegant script, "To my dearest Elias, forever yours, Jack." David's breath caught. Jack? Grandpa had never mentioned a Jack. Below it, a bundle of letters tied with twine, postmarked from various army bases. He untied them carefully, unfolding the top one. "My love," it began. "The nights here are endless without you. I dream of the day we can be free." The words blurred as David's eyes widened. This wasn't friendship. This was intimacy, raw and unspoken in an era that criminalized it. Shaken, David set the letters aside and delved deeper. There were newspaper clippings from the 1950s about the Lavender Scare, when the government purged suspected homosexuals from federal jobs. One article circled in red ink detailed a raid on a Detroit bar frequented by deviants. Grandpa had worked in a government-contracted factory back then. Had he been afraid? Then, a typed memo from 1952, stamped confidential, from Elias's employer. Employee Elias Harper cleared of allegations after investigation. No further action. Allegations of what? David's mind raced. He thought he was the first, the outlier in a lineage of straight-laced Harpers. But here was proof. Grandpa had loved a man, hidden it, perhaps even been persecuted for it. The next morning, David couldn't shake the discovery. He skipped breakfast, avoiding his parents' concerned glances, and drove to the local library, the file case hidden in his backpack. He needed context, history. Online searches revealed the horrors of mid-century America for gay men. Forced therapies, job losses, suicides. Grandpa had survived it all, marrying Grandma Ruth in 1953, right after that memo. Was it a cover? A genuine shift? David felt a mix of empathy and anger. Why hide this? And who was Jack? A deeper dive into ancestry sites yielded a hit. Jack Thompson died 1945 in combat. A war buddy? Or more? The letters confirmed it. They spoke of stolen moments in foxholes, promises of a life together post-war. Back home, David confronted his mother, Diane, in the kitchen. "Mom, did Grandpa ever talk about someone named Jack?" She froze, her coffee mug midway to her lips. "Where did you hear that name?" When he showed her the photo, her face paled. David put that away. Some things are better left buried. But he pressed, "Was Grandpa gay?" She sighed, sitting down heavily. "Your grandfather was a complicated man. The war changed him. He loved your grandmother, built this family. Don't dig up old ghosts." Her evasion fueled him. That night, he emailed a historian specializing in LGBTQ plus military history, attaching scanned letters anonymously. The reply came swiftly. "These are authentic. Many men like Elias lived double lives. Jack was likely his lover. The loss probably devastated him." As weeks passed, David's own life intertwined with this revelation. He had been seeing Ryan, a kind-hearted barista from the city, for months, secretly fearing family judgment. Ryan, out and proud, pushed him gently. You can't live in the shadows forever. Their dates were stolen joys. Walks in Central Park, quiet dinners where hands brushed under tables. But now, with Grandpa's secret burning in his chest, David felt a kinship across generations. Was he doomed to the same repression? At a family barbecue, his cousin Mark, a vocal conservative, ranted about the gay agenda ruining America. David bit his tongue, but inside he seethed. If only they knew about Grandpa, the hero they idolized. One evening, Ryan met David at a cozy diner in Brooklyn. You seem distant, Ryan said, his blue eyes searching. David hesitated, then spilled everything. The coming-out disaster, the file, the letters. Ryan listened, then took his hand. That's heavy, but it means you're not alone, even in your family. Their conversation deepened their bond, turning tentative affection into something profound. Yet doubt crept in. What if revealing this tore the family apart? David's father, a retired cop, still hadn't spoken to him since that dinner. Society had progressed, but in their small town, old prejudices lingered. The conflict escalated when David found a journal in the file. Grandpa's own words from 1950. Jack is gone, and with him, my heart, but I must endure. For the family. Tears stung David's eyes. Endurance meant marriage, kids, a facade. Was that strength or tragedy? He decided to probe further, visiting his aging aunt in Chicago, Grandpa's sister. Over tea, she confessed. Elias was different. After the war, he was broken. Mom and Dad pushed him to marry. The times. You couldn't be open. She revealed a suicide attempt in 1946. Hushed up. David's world tilted. His grandfather hadn't just hidden. He'd suffered profoundly. Returning home, David faced a choice. Bury the secret or share it. Ryan encouraged honesty. Truth heals. But his mother warned, your father idolizes him. This could break him. The tension built as David prepared for a family meeting, the file in hand. Would revelation bring understanding or division? The family gathering was set for Thanksgiving, but David couldn't wait. He called an emergency dinner at his parents' house, inviting his siblings and aunt. The air was thick with unspoken tension as they sat around the oak table that had witnessed countless holidays. His father, Tom, eyed him warily. What's this about, son? If it's more of that lifestyle talk, I'm not interested. David took a deep breath, placing the file case in the center. It's about Grandpa and me. We're more alike than you think. He started with the photo, passing it around. Murmurs rippled. Then the letters, read aloud in snippets. His sister Emily gasped, "This can't be real." Aunt Clara nodded solemnly. "It is. I knew bits, but not all." Tom slammed his fist. "Lies. My father was a man's man. Fought for this country." David pushed back. He did, and he loved Jack. The war took him, and Grandpa hid his pain to fit in. The room erupted. Mark, the cousin, accused David of fabricating it to justify himself. "You're twisting history for your agenda." Diane tried to mediate. "Tom, remember how distant Dad was? The moods, the drinking? This explains it." But Tom stormed out, muttering about betrayal. Emily hugged David. "If it's true, it's sad. But why now?" David explained his coming out, how the discovery gave him strength. Ryan, waiting in the car, joined later for support, his presence a quiet statement. The family split. Some empathetic, others defensive. Social media whispers began. Relatives posting veiled rants about revisionist family history. In the aftermath, David and Ryan's relationship deepened amid the chaos. They moved in together in a small apartment in Queens, a sanctuary from the storm. Ryan, a graphic designer, created a digital archive of the letters, anonymized, for historical preservation. "This isn't just your story," he said one night, curled on the couch. "It's America's hidden past." David felt torn. proud of his heritage yet guilty for exposing it. Calls from historians poured in after he shared snippets online. One even suggested a book. But family rifts widened. Tom refused to speak to him, citing disrespect to the dead. A turning point came at a local LGBTQ+ center event, where David spoke anonymously about intergenerational trauma. An elderly man approached afterward. "I knew men like your grandfather. We survived by silence." It humanized the struggle but also highlighted the controversy. Was outing the dead ethical? Online forums debated fiercely when David's story leaked. Some praised the visibility. Others decried privacy invasion. Ryan stood by him. "You're brave, like Elias, but free." Yet personal doubts crept in. David dreamed of Grandpa, a spectral figure whispering, "Let me rest." Was he honoring or exploiting? At work, as a teacher, colleagues whispered. Parents complained about his influence. Social conflicts mounted. A school board meeting where conservatives pushed anti-LGBTQ+ policies, citing family values. David testified, invoking his grandfather's hidden life as proof of harm from repression. It went viral locally, drawing supporters and haters. Ryan worried, this could get dangerous. But David pressed on, feeling a duty. Thanksgiving arrived tense. Tom showed up unannounced at David's apartment. "I read the letters," he admitted gruffly. "Didn't want to believe it, but Dad never talked about the war. Maybe this is why." A fragile truce formed, though Mark disowned the narrative, calling it woke propaganda. The family fractured, but seeds of understanding sprouted. David and Ryan hosted a small dinner, toasting to truth. As winter set in, David uncovered more. A 1960s therapy record in the file, detailing conversion sessions Grandpa endured voluntarily or coerced. It painted a picture of internalized shame, societal pressure forcing him into heteronormativity. David shared this with Emily, who researched similar cases. "Thousands suffered," she said. "We owe it to them to speak." But Tom struggled. He chose family over that. Debate ensued. Choice or survival? Ryan proposed over coffee. "Let's visit Grandpa's grave." Closure. They drove to the cemetery in Detroit, snow blanketing the ground. Standing there, David whispered apologies and thanks. On the way back, Ryan held his hand. "You've changed lives, including mine." Their love, once tentative, now felt unbreakable, forged in fire. But controversy brewed anew when a conservative blogger doxed David, labeling him a family destroyer. Threats followed. Ryan insisted on security. Society's divides mirrored the personal, progress versus tradition. David pondered. Had he gone too far? Spring brought renewal, but for David, it amplified the storm. His story had caught media attention. A local NPR segment titled, "Unearthing Family Secrets," a gay grandson's quest. Listeners called in divided. Some shared similar tales. Others accused him of sensationalism. "The dead deserve peace," one said. David defended, "Silence perpetuates pain." Ryan, ever supportive, helped field emails, but tension strained their bond. "I love you," Ryan said, "but this consumes you." At a family reunion in the Hamptons, fractures showed. Tom, thawing slightly, shared a memory. "Dad cried once, looking at an old photo. Never knew why." Mark confronted David. "You're ruining our legacy for clicks." Fists nearly flew. Emily intervened. Socially, David faced backlash at school. A petition to remove him for promoting alternative lifestyles. He fought back in a hearing, arguing for inclusivity, citing Grandpa's repression as cautionary. The board sided with him narrowly, but the win felt Pyrrhic. Deeper into the file, David found a letter from Grandma Ruth, dated 1970. "I know about Jack, Elias. I forgive you. We have our life now." It revealed complicity, a marriage of convenience, perhaps love in its way. David visited her nursing home grave, pondering her sacrifices. Was she a victim or enabler? This nuance fueled debates with Ryan. Society forced them both, Ryan argued. Blame the system. Their relationship hit a snag when Ryan's family, progressive Californians, visited. Over dinner, they praised David's courage, but Ryan confided later, "I feel sidelined. This is our life too." David realized he'd neglected the present for the past. They recommitted with a weekend getaway to the Catskills, hiking trails where conversations flowed freely. "I choose you," David said, kissing him under starlight. Yet, external pressures mounted. A viral tweet thread twisting his story into gay indoctrination. A major conflict arose when a distant relative sued for defamation, claiming the revelations tarnished the family name. Court dates loomed. David hired a lawyer specializing in LGBTQ+ rights. Testimonies revealed more. Aunt Clara admitted knowing about the therapy, keeping silent to protect. "Times were different," she said. The judge dismissed the case, ruling historical truth non-defamatory. But the ordeal exhausted David. Ryan stood firm. "We're in this together." Post-trial, David spoke at a national conference on queer history. "My grandfather's file taught me resilience," he shared. Applause mixed with heckles. A protester shouted, "Respect the dead." It sparked nationwide discussion. Ethics of posthumous outing. David's inbox flooded with stories. Grandchildren discovering similar secrets, finding solace. Back home, Tom invited him for a beer. "I miss my dad," Tom confessed. "But maybe he was braver than I thought." Reconciliation budded, though Mark cut ties. Emily started a support group for families navigating such revelations. Society's mirror reflected. In an era of pride parades and backlash laws, progress was uneven. David and Ryan planned a commitment ceremony, small and intimate. Invitations went out. Tom RSVP'd yes, a milestone. But doubts lingered. Had the file's exposure healed or harmed? At the ceremony, under blooming cherry trees, vows exchanged amid tears. "Through secrets and truths," Ryan promised. Yet, a new twist. An anonymous package arrived. A diary from Jack's sister, detailing their love. Elias was his world. It read. David wept, feeling the weight of inherited pain. Sharing it online amplified the story. Documentaries pitched. Ryan cautioned, "Balance, David." He agreed, focusing on their life. Summer brought calm, but undercurrents stirred. School resumed with wary parents. David incorporated subtle inclusivity lessons. A student came out to him, inspired. Positive change rippled, countering negativity. As autumn neared, David reflected on choices. Grandpa's silence versus his voice. Was one right? The debate raged internally and externally. The anniversary of the discovery approached, marking a year of upheaval. David and Ryan hosted a quiet dinner with accepting family members. Tom, Diane, Emily. Toasts raised to progress. Tom even joked, "Guess the apple doesn't fall far," but absences stung. Mark's empty chair a reminder of division. Later, David pored over the file again, finding a final gem. A poem Grandpa wrote in 1980, lamenting lost love yet affirming family joy. It humanized him further, complex, not tragic. Professionally, David's advocacy grew. He co-authored an article for a history journal, Hidden Heroes, Queer Veteran Stories. It garnered acclaim, but conservative outlets lambasted it as revisionism. Social media battles ensued. Out the past versus let them rest. David engaged thoughtfully, emphasizing empathy. Ryan designed a website archiving similar tales, fostering community. A personal crisis hit when Ryan's job transferred him to Chicago temporarily. Distance tested them. Late-night calls revealed strains. "I miss us before the file," Ryan admitted. David flew out, reaffirming, "The file brought us closer, through fire." They explored the city, visiting sites from Grandpa's era, blending past and present. Upon return, a bombshell. Mark publicly denounced David in a podcast, claiming the letters were forged. Evidence? None, but it fueled conspiracy theories. David responded with verified scans, but damage done, trust eroded. Tom defended him online, A turning point. My son's honest. My father was too, in his way. The climax built at a town hall on LGBTQ+ rights, where proposed bans on discussions in schools drew crowds. David spoke passionately. My grandfather hid to survive. Don't force that on kids today. Protesters clashed. Police intervened. Ryan, in the audience, rushed to him amid chaos. You're my hero, he whispered. Post-event, exhaustion set in. David questioned his path. Had obsession alienated allies? Therapy helped unpack generational trauma his own fears projected. Ryan supported. We're building something real. Family therapy followed, Tom attending reluctantly. Revelations surfaced. Tom's own youthful confusions. Buried. Maybe I was hard on you because of Dad, he admitted. Bonds mended slowly. As winter returned, David and Ryan adopted a dog, a symbol of normalcy. Walks in the park sparked joy, away from drama. Yet, a final file item emerged. A will addendum. Grandpa leaving a locket with Jack's photo to the one who understands. David wore it, feeling connected. Society's conflicts persisted. Supreme Court cases on rights loomed. David volunteered, channeling energy positively. In quiet moments, he wrote his own journal, pondering legacies. With the new year, resolution crystallized. David published a book, Shadows of Valor, blending Grandpa's story with his own. Reviews praised its nuance. Sales benefited LGBTQ+ veterans funds. Tours followed. At a signing, a young man shared, "This helped me come out." Impact outweighed backlash. Ryan proposed during a snowy walk. "Marry me, through all secrets." David accepted, tears freezing on cheeks. Wedding planning united family. Tom walked him down the aisle, Mark absent but sending a card. The ceremony, in a sunlit garden, symbolized light over shadow. Vows echoed themes. Honesty, love, choice. Honeymoon in Italy traced Grandpa's wartime paths. Closing circles. Back home, life settled. David taught with renewed purpose. Ryan's career flourished. They fostered community events, bridging divides. Yet, the journey's end posed reflection. Grandpa's file revealed truths, sparked debates. Society evolved, but prejudices lingered. David's choices, reveal or conceal, mirrored eternal dilemmas. In the end, was unearthing family secrets always the right path, even if it sparked pain alongside healing?